Welcome to ABC31 News Tonight. I'm Marissa Sarbach. Scott has the night off. Amid a number of recent controversies, tonight Louisiana State Police Colonel Kevin Reeves is saying, quote, "These are some of the darkest days State Police has had." That's our big story on this Wednesday night. Currently, there are numerous investigations, including a side trip troopers took to Las Vegas that ultimately cost former superintendent and Alexandria native Colonel Mike Edmondson his job. The Advocate newspaper reported last week it obtained documents showing Edmondson freeloaded off the taxpayers' backs for things like hotels, dry cleaning, and countless meals. And a newly released state police report contains a claim that Edmondson deleted text messages on the eve of his retirement as the agency was investigating the controversial Las Vegas trip. Reeves addressed the Press Club of Baton Rouge on this topic.
It's my hope that through all the controversies, all the setbacks that we have in an agency, that we come out better on the other side. We come out stronger. We come out providing a better product. With the San Diego trip, there's an appeal going on with the employees, and we certainly want to be fair and impartial to the agency and to the employees as they go through that process and let those processes take place. As far as the lace goes, it's difficult for me to speak on that matter because there's a criminal investigation actually going on into the matter.
Another piece of the controversy is a ticket writing program called LACE, where troopers are under a criminal investigation for claiming they were at work when they were sitting at home. Reeves says his organization is trying to clean up its image for the good men and women who work hard every day. Avoyles deputies arrest a Hesmer man on multiple burglary counts. 36-year-old Chaz McKinley is accused of 3 break-ins. Deputies say they recovered electronics, jewelry, power tools, prescription medication, and clothing from his home. Well, cold, rainy weather has made for a pretty miserable Wednesday. Meteorologist Ross Whitley is here now for a first look at our forecast. Ross?
Yeah, it has not been friendly to us out there today. It's been cold, it's been nasty, we've had rain at times, and even several reports of sleet across the area mixing in with the rain. Of course, temperatures remaining above freezing all day today, and even as we go into the overnight hours and early morning hours, we could still see some sleet mixing in, but temperatures aren't dropping below freezing, so as far as conditions go, road-wise, things like that, no worries there. But this might not be the last bit of frozen precipitation we see this week. We could actually see some snowflakes mixing in Thursday night. Of course, I'll be talking about that and how long the cold air will last when you warm up, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Ross. Well, before you put a bow on that cute puppy or kitten you're giving someone for Christmas, there are a few things you should think about. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips has a story.
At some point in time, many of us have asked for a pet for Christmas. Puppies, kittens, guinea pigs, and the list of furry friends goes on. They bring friendship, happiness, and more to our lives.
Owning a pet can really teach a lot of responsibility. It can form bonds that last a lifetime. Some studies even say that you could live longer.
But before you decide to make someone's Christmas wish come true, there's a few things to take into consideration.
Definitely, if you're giving it to a child, you want to get permission from the parent or guardian. You want to consider if the gift recipient has lodging for that pet, if they're able to take care of it, feed it, assume the associated costs with it, vet care, food, flea prevention, heartworm prevention, try to match the attention needs, the grooming needs, that kind of thing, the ease of care for the person you're giving a gift to. If you live inside the city limits, you do want to register your current rabies vaccine.
And since animals are living creatures like the rest of us, one thing you don't want to do is let your impulses get the best of you.
You definitely don't want to just look at something and say, oh, it's so cute, I need it, or so-and-so would love it, and just impulse buy. You really, really want to give more thought to your purchase than that.
Adoption is also a choice. You can visit local animal shelters if you're considering giving someone a pet as a Christmas gift. You'll also be giving the pet a gift, a loving home. Remember the do's and don'ts of giving pets as a gift this Christmas. Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
Family and togetherness are usually key themes for the holidays, so that can make the holidays awfully difficult for people who are grieving the loss of a loved one. This morning, the Rapides Regional Medical Center joined the Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency to recognize donors and their families during the holiday season. Families were able to place an ornament on a Christmas tree in remembrance of their loved one.
Families are able to come and place an ornament on the tree in memory of their loved one who's given the gift of life, and I think it's a nice way for families to be together with families who have been in their same or similar situations and have found comfort in the gift of life, and a nice way to remember their loved ones at the holiday time.
It's special for me and for all of our families so that we have something to look forward to and know that our family member is not forgotten.
The families all had a chance to speak on behalf of their deceased family member as they placed an ornament on the Tree of Life. For more information on how you can participate, contact the Rapides Regional Medical Center. A quick note, the Angel of Hope program scheduled for 7 p.m. at the Mount Olivet Cemetery in Pineville has been canceled due to weather conditions. There's no word yet on whether it will be rescheduled or not. LSUA's Arts, English, and Humanities Department is awaiting approval for a World Religions degree program, which will give students a chance to be exposed to a variety of religions.
We think that a lot of students will find this program appealing and will have possibilities in careers in public service and also in going on to religious institutions or even on to grad school.
If the program is approved, students can enroll starting next fall. Pastor Cedric Williams shares with us what inspired him to bring the community together for No Shave November.
Men are always pushed to the backside of everything. So on the upside, I wanted to use No Shave November as a way of uplifting and building up men, starting with our health. So that was my motivation.
And if you'd like to be a part of No Shave November movement, visit the No Shave November Facebook page. Well, coming up next, a controversial decision, a move by President Trump some say could impact peacekeeping efforts in the Middle East. Plus, raging inferno, the losses that continue to mount as a massive wildfire burns in California. ABC31 News will be back. President Trump breaks with almost every other nation today, recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The change threatening to jeopardize peace efforts in the Middle East and possibly spark violence against Americans across the region. ABC's Serena Marshall reports from Washington.
The sacred city of Jerusalem, now an increased security risk for U.S. personnel and their families, following a controversial political decision made in Washington. President Trump has decided to declare Jerusalem the capital of Israel and to move the U.S. Embassy there from Tel Aviv.
I've judged this course of action to be in the best interests of the United States of America and the pursuit of peace between Israel and the Palestinians.
The declaration has been on the books for decades, but has been waived by all previous American administrations, until now.
The very grave consequences of such a move on the peace process, on the two-state solution, and on stability and security of the entire region.
And no other country in the world has its embassy in Jerusalem. The move is so controversial because East Jerusalem, with an Arab majority, is seen as a possible capital of a future Palestinian state, leading world leaders to criticize the president's decision. Egypt's president says the move could undermine peace opportunities. Jordan's king says it will provoke Muslims and Christians alike. The Israeli government, on the other hand,
Jerusalem is a symbol for us. It's a symbol for the nation, our nation, for thousands of years. So we don't really need this recognition in order to be here.
Other than Israel, which thinks that this move is 22 years overdue, that all of the feedback that he's been getting from world leaders is overwhelmingly negative.
And he spoke with 5 leaders. That's hardly indicative of everybody across the globe.
Various Palestinian factions have called for, quote, 3 days of rage, which has prompted a travel warning to U.S. personnel and for Americans to not go into crowds.
The White House says that they don't want to preclude the possibility of a future Palestinian capital in Jerusalem and that this move will likely take years. But this is the president keeping a campaign promise. Serena Marshall, ABC News, the White House.
Time magazine names the Silence Breakers, the women who helped trigger the national outcry over sexual harassment, as its Person of the Year. The cover features a group photo with Ashley Judd, Taylor Swift, former Uber engineer Susan Fowler, and a woman whose face is left out, representing the women who have yet to come forward and speak out. The honor recognizes the dramatic cultural shift seen in recent months and the ongoing hashtag #MeToo, a movement that helped fuel a worldwide discussion about sexual harassment. President Trump was named runner-up, followed by China's president. 4 wildfires are now racing across Southern California, devouring homes and exhausting firefighters who are trying to save them. Tens of thousands are still evacuating. ABC's Marshall Gonzalez reports.
Explosive flames tearing through several Southern California communities.
This is frightening. This is really frightening.
This new fire in Los Angeles burning right up to the normally busy 405 freeway, shutting it down and charring multi-million-dollar homes in Bel Air.
This is a horrible area to have a fire like this.
They are just some of the hundreds of structures damaged or destroyed in multiple out-of-control fires.
We can't even describe what I'm thinking.
The Creek Fire in LA County forcing about 120,000 people to evacuate. At least 27,000 others forced from their homes by the Thomas Fire in Ventura County.
The flames were so big and we just packed up and everybody's gone.
Flames scorching more than 80,000 acres so far, fueled by strong Santa Ana winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour, low humidity, and bone-dry brush.
With this area, it's been years since anything's burned at all.
Several firefighters injured, desperately trying to save houses and lives. This one collapsing in the street, overcome by heat. Some residents with hoses in hand staying behind to help in the firefight.
We all came together, we put out the fires, any hot spots that we could.
But they weren't able to put them all out in this neighborhood because the flames just jumped so unpredictably. You can see this house here was destroyed, but the one right next door was untouched, while across the street a couple of other houses were nearly leveled. And these strong winds that are making the fire so difficult to contain aren't expected to let up for at least a few days. In Sylmar, California, Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News.
And meteorologist Ross Whitley joining us now. Ross, how's it looking outside?
Well, it's been cold today and it's been nasty. Rain and even sleet at times out there. Of course, we didn't officially pick up any sleet at the airport because that's where it goes in as actually measurable snow. So nothing official as of yet today, even though they have reported sleet. So that's a head scratcher for you there. 47 is all we could manage. Of course, temperatures down there in the lower 40s. Continuing overnight tonight, we'll be dropping into the 30s, not getting to freezing, so don't worry about road conditions deteriorating or anything like that. But it is cold, it's nasty, and we got another day like this on the way for tomorrow. Be talking all about it coming up after the break.
KLAX TV presents Sounds of the Holiday Season, showcasing children right here in central Louisiana. Join us all week for choirs and bands from area schools as they share the spirit of Christmas. Don't miss Sounds of the Holiday Season. Brought to you in part by First Federal Bank, Barksdale Federal Credit Union, Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital, Window World, and Ace Hardware in Gina.
Current conditions not improving from what we had today. Light rain and 42 degrees. It feels like 38 and our dew point at 40. And the reason we reported a lot of sleet around the area is once we got the heavier precip to move in with this area of low pressure, we actually had our dew points down in the lower 30s. They were as low as 34, which means that somewhere between the cloud level and the surface, it was below freezing with that dew point being so low. The rain fell, it evaporated the air, it cooled it off, and then that allowed for some of those rain droplets to refreeze and turn into sleet, and that mixed in at the surface with the rain. So that's what we had going on, and we could continue to see some drier pockets of air move in and see occasional sleet mix in with the rain. Looking at our radar, it looks a lot worse than it actually is, because all these little heavy pockets of rain that are showing up on the radar, that's actually mixed precipitation in the clouds. So it's pinging back to the radar as heavier precip and then what's actually falling to the ground. So mostly light rain out there, even though the radar is showing some heavier rain. And you see back off to our west, yes, some blue showing up in southwestern Texas. That's in the higher elevations. And of course, they're picking up a little bit of snowfall, and tomorrow they'll probably be picking up a little bit of measurable snowfall. We too could also see some snowflakes before the week's over. We have one cold front off to our north. The cold front that moved through yesterday stalled out, and now an impulse, a low pressure system moving along that cold front, going to continue to move up and toward the Carolinas as we go throughout the night tonight. And then another area of low pressure will develop on the backside of this. That'll bring the snow for southwestern Texas tomorrow. And then as that lingers and this colder air up here moves into our area, we could see the rain showers changing over to rain and snow showers briefly before it all ends. So not any kind of accumulation, but of course, anytime we're talking snow here in Louisiana, it gets something excited. Even some models indicating that New Orleans and Hattiesburg, Mississippi could pick up a quick dusting before it all switches back over to rain, or ends more likely what will happen. As we go through the day tomorrow, morning shower out there in spots, otherwise mostly cloudy. We'll hold on to a little bit of precipitation, and as we go into Thursday night, that's when we could see things change over to snow briefly as we go into Friday morning, before rounding out and just turning into a kind of cold, nasty day once again. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow, or I should say Friday, with those morning showers, and then much warmer as we head into Saturday. That cold front lingering around the area for the day tomorrow, but most of the rain staying off to our south. And looking ahead, this is the pattern we continue to see, colder air filtering in. Our forecast lows tonight down in the upper 30s in a lot of locations. Yes, some sleet could mix in once again as we go throughout the night tonight. And for tomorrow, showers, but a little bit warmer, back up near 50 for the day. And checking out our extended forecast, all the way back up to 59, but our overnight lows, deep freeze. Friday night, 24 degrees. That's a look at your 7-day and your weather forecast. Marissa?
All right, thank you, Ross. Well, Amazon may be rethinking its plans to get into the drug business, and Google is using artificial intelligence to find the perfect cookie. Jane King is at the NASDAQ market site with those stories and more in today's Tech Report.
Amazon appears to have canceled a pharmaceutical wholesaler application in the state of Maine. That's according to analysts at RBC Capital. That raises further questions about the tech giant's plans to enter the pharmacy space. Amazon has remained silent about what, if any, plans it may have for a bigger move into healthcare. Well, your Instagram stories no longer have to disappear forever after 24 hours. The app introduced 2 new features that allow you to save your stories indefinitely. Archiving for private saving, and highlights, a feature that puts stories right on your profile. Now, if you enable the new stories archive setting, Instagram will automatically download your stories to your account's archive before they expire. Now, what were the most talked about subjects on Twitter of 2017? Well, the most retweeted tweet was the Wendy's Chicken Nugget Challenge. It had almost 18 million retweets. President Donald Trump, the most tweeted about world leader, and the most tweeted about TV show was Game of Thrones. The most tweeted about movie was Wonder Woman. Well, some are fearful about artificial intelligence and what it means for humans, but here's something far less terrifying. AI is being used to make really great chocolate chip cookies. The top exec at Alphabet, Eric Schmidt, tells CNBC that Google is working on taking thousands of recipes and tweaking them to make the best tasting cookie. From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, I'm Jane King with your Tech Report.
Thanks for watching ABC 31 News tonight. Have a great evening.
Enjoy a trolley ride to beautifully decorated homes in the Garden District Holiday Tour of Homes. It's December 16th in the historic heart of Alexandria. Listen to the sweet Christmas sounds of bagpipes and dulcimers, and watch interpretations of Dickens' classic, A Christmas Carol, December 20th at the Bulow State Historic Site. December 16th at the Alexandria Mall, Sunburst Beauty will host the Miss Merry Christmas Beauty Pageant. All ages up to 27 years old are invited to compete. Every contestant receives a tiara and a trophy. The Alexandria Zoo presents a holiday light safari like no other, with wild animal-themed light displays, train rides, Santa, activities for children, a bonfire, photo ops, and much more.